Do you know that in order to set boundaries that you actually really stick to and honor and respect, you need to be setting boundaries from a place that's coming from an internal knowing, a place that is really grounded in not just your mind of, wow, I need to set this boundary, but also from your body. I wrote a recent blog that spoke all about one of the therapy methods that I really believe in and I have training in, which is sensory motor psychotherapy. Another popular one of these trainings that are also all about mind body methods are somatic experience. So, one of the very popular terms that we use in any of these mind body somatic, which talks about just like the body, using the body, working with the body and the mind and the spirit when you're really wanting to create change. And it's primarily used for trauma healing, but I use different kinds of mind-body interventions really in working with any kind of issue. Because when we are holding something, a disconnect, an insecurity, a feeling of stuckness, a lot of times our bodies are holding sensations in addition to the frustration we're having in our mind or in any area of life. So when thinking about boundaries, I would invite you to really get curious and really begin developing something that's called felt sense. Felt sense is this term that refers to the ability of slowing down and getting in touch with your sensations on an internal level. It's not a mental process, it's a physical process. So felt sense is basically like learning to become embodied in your skin. Like we kind of wear our bodies all day, but then it's almost like, am I actually in my body? So just if you want to cultivate a sense of felt sense, I actually have the blog that I wrote linked below. But for right now, I would ask you to just take a moment, take a deep breath, and really just begin noticing, outlining the outside of your body. So you can start from your head, your forehead, your cheekbone, your jawline, your shoulders, almost like sometimes I tell clients, like imagine that, you're laying on the ground and like when you played as a kid, like with a chalk, you're just outlining the outside of your body. So just feeling the outside of your body. Notice if there's any sensations that come up in a certain part of your body, if your back feels like it's weighted, if your belly feels like it's tense, if your legs feel heavy or jittery or jumpy. And then you want to check in if there's any sensations on the inside of your body. So is there kind of this dread? Is there this fear? Is there this noticing that your hands are clammy when you think about a situation you're facing at home, right? So you want to just slow down and really get descriptive. One of the ways that we get in touch with our body is getting descriptive of, is there a tingling feeling? Do I feel big, right? In this environment, I feel big, I feel seen. In that environment, I almost feel like I start shrinking, right? When I'm in this relationship, I notice that my voice is strong and powerful. When I'm around this person, I notice that I say a lot, doubt myself. Is there a feeling of emptiness? Is there like this twirly feeling, right? Like sometimes we feel like there's this like spinning in our throats or this tightening. Does it feel like, you're choking? Does it feel like there's a knot in your throat? So you really just want to get curious about just your felt sense of your body. You want to feel your backbone, your sits bone, your feet, right? And then specifically if you're dealing with a certain situation and in setting a boundary, I usually say, like, first get in touch before we set a boundary. Like, if I set a boundary that is not really attuned with who I am, but I'm feeling anxious and worried, and I say, okay, just don't come over anymore. But I'm not aligned in my body, and I'm not embodying the boundary I'm setting. When I get pushback from the other person, I might step on my own boundary, or I might be like, okay, don't worry about it. But when we are cultivating a felt sense, and we're embodying the boundary or whatever we're communicating, verbal or nonverbal boundaries, we have a much better time at staying with it, being able to tolerate the discomfort that comes up, and really being able to stay present so we can enjoy the ease that setting a healthy boundary really allows. Because we know that life is just so much more enjoyable when we have healthy boundaries, right? And we're protecting and we're allowing in a whole lot of love and possibilities. So that's just a little tidbit for felt sense. I think living in our bodies and working through blockages or body sensations, I've seen it really transform people's lives, which is why I love this work. And I think it's one of the ways that healing goes beyond the talking, right? So people sometimes come to counseling because they've done talk therapy all their life, but they're still having body symptoms. So if you're curious about somatic therapy, you can just poke around my website. I've written a bit about mind-body interventions or techniques. You could try some art activities that I've made suggestions about. And I hope you have a great day.